Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm very bad at introductions, but I decided that I need to do an introduction to these videos now just in case. So my name is Myler. Hi, hello. I have got a build challenge currently going on my channel in which I try to build a floor plan, a real floor plan in The Sims from every year starting in 1900. So we are currently on 1903, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 1903. Yeah, no, it is 1903. I was getting myself confused because I did start with 1900. So technically this is my fourth one. But anyways, I decided needed to do an introduction to this video. Oh my God, English is hard. Because I haven't really. I don't think I have at all. And it's been a minute since I have actually uploaded. So just to talk about that for a quick second, I have been experiencing a bit of burnout creatively. I haven't really wanted to do anything that I mean, it's depression, it's burnout, seasonal depression, whatever. It's been a hard winter. Our winter has been extremely cold in Northern California. Thank you, climate change. And it's been very dark and, wet and everything. And it's been a little trying for my mental state. Anyways, we're here. I finally have finished 1903, and this house is a little kooky one. So you're seeing it now. It's got a very, very weird front facade on the second floor. Otherwise, it's a very normal house. It's almost a 4-square house on the first floor, at least. And meaning it's mainly just got 4 main rooms. It doesn't have 4 rooms. It has 3 because they omitted the dining room in this house. Instead, there's just a parlor, a living room, and a kitchen, and then kind of like a pantry, and they favored more of a porch for this house rather than a dining room. So yeah, the roof is a bit more like a barn. It's kind of an odd house. I did originally start building it in Brindleton Bay, and because I thought it was going to be a much larger house for some reason, and so I wanted to put it on a bigger lot, and I thought the style of it kind of looked a bit more like Brindleton Bay, kind of that Cape Cod, Massachusetts type of style. And then when I actually started to build it, I realized it was actually quite a small house, and so kind of halfway through here, I do move it to, I can never remember which one it is. Strangetown, whatever it's called. You know which one I'm talking about. I moved it there, and the lighting there is much better as well. Also, I wanted to say I am sorry if you hear any background noise in this video. It is currently pouring rain outside, and grandma's doing laundry. So, sorry. Yeah, anyways, this house went through a few changes in the front facade. I wanted at first to try to do, it's guessing really, but I wanted to try to get as close to what I was seeing in the illustration from the original book of house plans. I don't remember which one this one is. You can find this one just by Google searching 1903 houses. I think I did find the book that it was in on archive.org, but I didn't save the link, and it's a pain in the ass to try to find stuff on there. So sorry, I'm not going to have the link for it, but it's fine. You can just Google it. But anyways, I thought the outside looked quite simple, and so I was trying to go for that similar aesthetic, but then it just didn't look nice. It doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. So halfway through it, and I don't think I recorded it actually, because I think I just needed to take my own time and not worry about recording it. But I did redo the entire outside color scheme and everything to be a bit more, I did look up historical paint colors and stuff like that. So I went a bit more of the historical accurate rather than the photo accurate, I guess. So whatever. Just the illustration looked so boring when I tried to recreate it. And there's a few things in this house like this that I should have kept it the way that I had done it here, because looking back at it now, it is a bit more interesting than just an archway, and does kind of look a bit more like that folk Victorian that I did for 1902. That, looking at it now, I wish I had kept it, but at the time I didn't really like it, so whatever. If you like it, you can just add that back in. Part of it also was I did have to make this house bigger in order to fit something on the second floor, I think it was. So the stairs aren't accurate. The stairs are supposed to be like an L shape in the floor plan. And I had them close to accurate for a while here. And then because I had to update the second floor, I just couldn't fit an L-shaped stair. So I did change it to a regular staircase, but it's fine. Also, this kitchen is very cute. I do love the color combination of the tiles and the gingham wallpaper. I don't know how historically accurate it is, but it kind of looked accurate. I did look up quite a few pictures of 1903, specifically 1903 kitchens, to try my best to not generalize it and to try to make it at least separate from the other early 1900 houses that I'm doing. But I would say this one, out of the rest of them, has the least amount of a specific style. I don't know if actually this one has the least out of all of them, but it sort of got a bit like country folk aesthetic, not that much Victorian aesthetic. I don't really know what I was going for here. I was just kind of going with it. I knew I wanted to use these decorative plates quite a bit, so they are throughout the house in a few places. And yeah, I kind of didn't want to spend too much time on one room in this house, because sometimes I do feel like I do that. Like, I will over decorate one room, and usually it's the kitchen. Honestly, I do love doing kitchens and bathrooms. But sometimes I'll spend forever just doing those, and then the bedrooms will be kind of whack. So yeah. Also, this isn't a full butler's pantry. It's just a pantry. Quite a lot of early 1900 houses had not full on butler pantries, but just regular old pantries. And what I mean by that is they didn't have like the counters inside of it, because butler pantries were honestly used kind of like how we use regular kitchens now, because they had the counter spaces and they had all the, plates and the dishes and stuff like that all in that space in the butler's pantry. So butler's pantries aren't quite the same as a regular pantry. A regular pantry just has like food and stuff like that. Butler's pantry isn't quite the same, but a lot of these early 1900 houses didn't have butler pantries. They were moving into just regular pantries in which they would store food, and then plating of food and making of food was actually done more in the kitchen, which is why you get more counter space options in the kitchen. The further into the 1900s you get, it's a weird, confusing thing, because it's not how we use kitchens now at all. We use kitchens as these huge meeting spaces. It's not what they used to be. The living room, or this is why I guess in older houses you see more spaces to kind of just hang out. So we have a living room and we have a parlor in here. So a parlor is kind of confusing when you look at it, because we don't really have parlors now, but parlors are, oh, I didn't edit out me putting in cheats. Oh well. The parlors were kind of like places where you all sit and, I don't know, smoke or whatever, but the living rooms is like where you would entertain guests and or have people over. That was like your first impression into somebody's house, is, either if you didn't have the little vestibule, entryway, foyer, whatever it's called, your living room was your first impression. So this would have been a bit of a nicer room, whereas the parlor is kind of where you take your friends, I want to say, and you go and have a smoke, and you go hang out by the fire, or maybe it's where you sit and you brood over your books. I don't know. The early 1900s are an interesting time, and I cannot claim to have studied up fully on the living habits of the people in the 1900s. I simply like the houses, so I also wanted to I had a bit of an issue with the beds here, and that's why I ended up having to widen the second floor, which I just completely cut out. But it did end up being a bit more accurate to the floor plan doing it this way, because it does have a closet. That is another thing with these 1900 houses that I've been making. They all seem to have closets for the bedrooms, but when you see a 1900 house in reality, they often don't have closets. So I don't really understand that at all. But I got it to be more accurate to the floor plan. It's also really cool because they have the shared balcony in the front. That's something that a lot of houses don't have. It's just kind of like an ornamental thing. You can't really do anything on it, but it's there and it's pretty. This bathroom I did have to widen simply because in the floor plan, it was, imagine if the wall wasn't set back like it is here over the tub, and it was just a straight wall from where the door is to the window. You can't fit a tub right there in The Sims. In real life, you could. They do have very tight, narrow bathrooms in these early 1900 houses, because it wasn't really a room seen as like a place you'd be in very long. But it doesn't fit in The Sims 4. So I did have to widen that. So that part's not accurate. So give and take, you know. This one also does have a closet. I wanted to point out this little triangle room right here that has a door. That's supposed to be a closet. It, again, doesn't fit just because the way The Sims 4 is, the way the tiling works and everything. So it's kind of the vague idea of what a closet would be. Yeah, sorry. These bedrooms are pretty standard. I did want to continue with the thing of not over decorating for most of the rooms, but in keeping it pretty like accurate, both bedrooms do have just 2 twin beds. No queen beds or anything like that. Just 2 twin beds. Even if you're married, you don't sleep next to each other, which sometimes is nice. Like me and Noah, when we go on vacation, we sleep in the separate queen beds in the hotel rooms just because we can have our own space and spread out, and it's really nice. But I think I wouldn't want to do that in 2 separate twin beds personally. I feel like you have to at least have a full size bed, which, you know, or a double, full or double, whatever you call it, to be able to really enjoy that. And so also I added the chess table down here because that's something I know I never add in my builds, is I never add like a fun activity for people to do. It's kind of like you just live here and you've got to do everything outside of your house. And I've tried to play like that before. It's a challenge. Like if you want to give yourself a challenge and actually use the game a bit more, instead of just living in your one lot, you literally can't do anything here. You make your food, you sleep, and that's about it. And you need to go elsewhere to, have fun or to socialize or whatever. I think I did that trying to play University, and it's so hard to just not give yourself, the easiness of it. So here you can see how I recolored the house and changed the foundation and stuff just to be a little more, I don't know what I imagine might have been reality for them then. But I do really like the blue and yellow combination. I think it's a lot more brighter. And I didn't go over the top with the outside decoration, the landscaping, which is why I showed it here. But I wanted to show this trick, which I don't think I've seen anybody do, of just layering the floor, what is that called? The coloring on the floor to make it look like there's stones, and like random stones, not just, oh, I plopped a stone here, plopped a stone there, I thought it looked nice, and it was something I hadn't seen before. So I just wanted to include that. I never include me doing landscaping really because I don't think it's that interesting. But for once, I finally thought of something a little bit different. So anyways, here's the screenshots. Sorry I rambled the whole time. You just got to get used to that with me. 1904 will be up within the next 3 weeks. We'll just say that. We'll give myself some time there. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like. Please subscribe if you want to. I do upload videos, just not that consistently. Anyways, thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice day.